everybody get started this Twitter space. I haven't joined one of these things in a little while. I'll let everybody propagate in here. Hope everybody having a good evening. We're going to be talking about old Biden here. Good old Jim Crow Joe. And, I've been paying attention to some of the things with him, and we've been talking about what he hasn't done for the black community. But as I got to sit down and think about it, Biden has been actually the perfect wake up call for Black America because Black America has been disillusioned with the Democrat Party for a very, very long time. And when Trump was in office, they didn't like that direct confrontational racism that come from his followers. I don't know what that thing is over here. And anyway, so they didn't like that. A lot of folks was scared of that. I loved every minute of it. I'm like, bring me my white supremacists open. Let them come to the forefront. That's what I need. But, a lot of people were scared of that. Ran out and went vote for Biden. And Biden, he has a documented history of being worse basically off the 1994 crime bill. You look at that, how he just recently talking about, reminiscing about days of having lunch and everything with segregationists. I mean, Biden has a long history of things he's said that's been very horrible to the black community. But what's recently come out, and let me just do my spiel, and then I'll get to y'all. So they have these staffers who are black leaving the White House in mass. They even saying it's a black sick. So they say they got more than 20 black White House aides. They have departed from the Biden administration since last year. They said an exodus. They say has been dubbed Blacksit. They say while some departing staffers have left on good terms to pursue additional career and education opportunities, others have contributed the turnover to the lack of mentorship and opportunity. They say that we're here and we're doing a lot of work, but we're not decision makers. And there's no real path towards becoming decision makers. They said there is no real feedback. There's no clear path to any kind of promotions. Well, let me tell you something. The history of black people in America has been the worker. That's it, not the boss. If you're going to work for these folks, they do not want you in no position. And if they do put you in a position, you got to be so sold out. You got to be so bootlickish. You got to be so raccoonish for them to be comfortable with you. Okay? This system was not built for you to be running anything. You have been selected as the permanent underclass in America. Just to be, real with you on this. Okay, let's continue. They say they brought a ton of black people, they said generally to start, without ever establishing an infrastructure to retain them or help them be successful. They say if there's no clear infrastructure of how to be successful, you just become invisible in the space. They said then you would be if you were not in it. Now they say some people have not had the best experiences, and a lot, they said, that has to do with the death of black leadership. One former official, they said, agreed. And they said, think about any workspace. Black folks need some person to go to strategize and to be a mentor. And we just don't have as many folks who can mentor us because they're not trying to mentor you. They're not trying to help you grow in anything. The only freedom black people have is entrepreneurship. If you're going to work for these folks, you're not going to be put in a position to run anything. Look at all the major corporations of America. Look at all of the majority of the CEOs. Look at everybody who run the banks. Everybody who run anything you could think of. It don't look like people like me and you. Now, we could work there. Maybe we lucky to get a supervisor position, but let's call it what it is. Karen and Brad are come in with no education and get over you in 6 months. Some of you have trained your replacement. Train people. You've been faithful to this company 10 years. Every day, you never late. You have missed holidays with your family. Some of you have missed kids' birthday parties. You didn't miss so many things. And then here come Becky or Brad in. They tell you to train them in 6 months. Now they're your supervisor. And you've been there 10 years. Now, continuing. They talked about, of course, Kamala Harris, Chief of Staff, Tina Flory, Communications Director, Ashley Ateen, Public Engagement Chief, Vincent Evans, as well as White House Public Engagement Head Cedric Richmond have since joined. They say since the rush for the exit. Now, this is the part I want to get to. Let me scroll down here just a little bit. All right. So they were saying that the issues that are the highest priority for our community are no longer at the forefront of the administration's priority list. They said when 10 black people got killed at a grocery store in Buffalo, it's business as usual. And no one stops to say, are you okay? But Biden just had a K-pop group up there at the White House. They're not even U.S. citizens. BTS is their name, right? K-pop is a Korean version of them mimicking a lot of things that's even been done in hip hop. But listen to black expats in Korea, definitely South Korea, and say how black people came and go in certain clubs in South Korea. So let me get you started with that. That's why I don't understand why y'all would leave America and go to any other place outside of a black nation. I don't get it because I'm not gonna leave America and then go to another place with another freaking racist. I'm not doing it. I might well stay here. This is the racist I know. If that's my choice. But everybody to each his own. So Biden and them, they telling you, do not care about black folk. That was the main thing. We have seen since Biden been in office, even the most hardcore of the hardcore Democrat shills cannot logically defend Biden on anything. This man came into office most so with a disdain toward black Americans, a hardcore disdain. And he has done his best to show you that he will not do nothing for you. He made it clear he don't care what happened to you. He don't care. Think about it. A white supremacist, you can't get no more white supremacist than this. Peyton Gendron had the N word on the gun. You can't get no more white supremacists than this. And they still haven't charged that white supremacist terrorist devil with a hate crime. He only charged with one charge for 10 people. He should be charged with 10 first degree murder charges and 10 hate crime charges. But he's not charged that way. Why? Because your liberal friends, your Democrat friends, is no different than that Republican that you say is racist too. And I'm so glad that Biden, it dawned on me today. I'm so glad Biden is in office. I'm so glad. Because he's showing a lot of you black people that were so hardcore Democrat, showing you that you can't even defend it now. You can't. This Democrat Party that's in there now, they're about pushing up everybody else over black America. And they doing it like they're not even doing it on a subtle way. I can understand they was kind of doing it where you couldn't put your finger on it. They doing it in a way where it's blatant. And if you defending Biden and the Democrats at this point, you just obviously you're not just intelligent. That's just bottom line. You're just not intelligent and whatsoever. You're just not. Sorry, you're not. A lot of you scary. A lot of you, you want. I said this before. A lot of you want them folks to treat you just a little bit better, and the police just kind of stop killing you and just let you have a little job, give you a little vacation, and you're fine. They can run you for another 1,000 years. You don't want to run nothing. You don't want to control nothing. But see what's happening with Biden and them. See, a lot of y'all got a wake up call with Trump. Y'all say, "Ooh, Biden in there. Ooh, I can go back to normal." And oh no, it's continuing. And I thank God. I'm happy now. I thought about it. I am happy with Biden. I'm happy because he's waking y'all up and he's making my job easy. But I want to get y'all in here. So if y'all want a request to come in to have a conversation about the topic itself, we can do that. I tell people, I am your brother and I'm your friend as well. I'm an uncle to a lot of people. But if somebody come here giving an energy that's not nice, I will meet that energy as well. So you raise your hand up and I'll try to get whoever. Let me see who I can get in here. Who's up here first that requested? All right. Let's get this brother up here. Julian. Unmute your mic, Julian. Julian, you're on the mic. Going once, going twice. We got to go move on to somebody else.
Oh, you hear me now?
I hear you.
Sorry, man. Actually, I'm outside, but I just wanted to speak on everything that you say. Yeah, I absolutely agree. To be honest with you, My parents are pretty much like the same when it comes to like Democrat first, but I'm actually glad that Biden is waking up a lot of black folks, and honestly, at this point, I really don't care who's in office. To tell you the truth, I'd rather have a Republican or hell, even if Trump gets back in office. I don't mean I
Uh
honestly don't
oh.
even.
Uh oh. You said a bad word. You about to have a lot of them flip out when you say that. Why did you just say that? I want to hear that because you see, the reason why I'm asking this question
Mhm.
is because that they so stuck on talking points
Yeah,
that they like, oh, you see Trump, he did listen, why would you rather Trump back?
I mean like don't get me wrong. I don't. I mean, it's not that because when Trump was in office, he had that like open white supremacy like right in your face, like you said, like that white supremacy was like in your face, it's undeniable, and it got a lot of black people moving to like let you know to get more on code. That's what I mean by that.
Okay, all right, but do you think that Biden is actually showing people to get on code? 'Cause I think Biden is doing actually a better job than Trump.
Uh, may- I could agree to I could agree to an extent because I mean it's I think with Biden it's like more slowly because like you said because like like we all know like with the black community we've been loyal to the Democrat Party for like almost like what 50 to 60 years. So it's hard for us to like sometimes be literally impossible for us to even like believe like hey no we can't we really can't. I mean we can't. I mean we can't go Republican. We can't go independent. Democrats the only thing that we know. I mean like they're the ones pretending to be our friends and all when we know when we know it's not. They're not. So it's like yeah, I agree. Biden is waking up a lot of black people, but not as fast as Trump would have. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right, right. Well, brother, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on
Mm-hmm.
the show here.
Sure.
I greatly appreciate it, and yeah, you take care of yourself,
You
man.
too. All right.
All right. Now let me say something about that real quick. See, the hardcore Democrats in our community are the baby boomers. Okay, but this is the problem with that community, the baby boomer community. Every year they're losing voters. I mean, because life happens, right? I mean, none of us are going to be here forever. So life is happening to that biggest demographic. Um, that biggest demographic is your church going people. Well, what's happening now? Younger people are not going to church, right? So the church is a big place where the Democrats recruit. Well, that's not what black people are at today. The let's say the Gen Xers, the millennials, the Gen Zs. That's not where we hanging out at. That's not our thing. So as that generation, just go on to, with the Lord and hopefully like, a lot of them going with the Lord and the ones that was evil, may they go burn in hell. We're talking about the evil ones. Um, they can't depend on black people. So what's happening is the younger black people, from what I'm seeing, is that man, they not doing nothing for us. And that's the younger people that's saying that more. The older folks, they like, look, I'm not trying to fight nothing. I'm tired. I just want to get my social security check. Y'all stop causing trouble. Leave me alone. I want to go to church. I want to just do whatever. I want to die in peace. And that's why some of the folks like in that older community is like y'all causing trouble. I mean stop sitting up there being a troublemaker now. That sort of thing. But they didn't live their life. Now we have to live our lives. And in Biden and the Democrats, like listen to the staffers and what they said. After 10 black people and a lot of people in that generation we just talked about were killed in Buffalo, they said, oh well, I mean, one of them things, who cares? So let me go ahead and go to the let me see, we got three people. Let's go to, let me see how the scene go in order here. All right, Jonathan Walker.
Yes. Yeah. How you doing,
Yes,
Phil?
I'm doing good, Mr. Walker. What's on your mind about the topic?
Man, let me tell you something. We can't go out like this old civil rights generation. We need our reparation check today because we don't want to be like the previous generation that let us down. We don't want the generation behind us saying, "Man, y'all didn't do nothing for us." You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
and let me tell you something. I got some Sambos at my job. I work at the post office. This one black coon I try to talk to. Let me tell you something. He'd be like, "Well, yeah, Biden's still better than Trump." I'm like, oh.
Did you ask him how?
I did. I asked him. He
What did he
he,
say?
he said, "Well, this is how he was. He was like, well, he gave us hip hop appreciation month." And I'm looking at him like, "You fool!" He'd be like, "Oh, yo, he gave us Juneteenth," and I'm like, "You." Oh, and I got so frustrated with him. I'm
Do you notice most? It is. I'm noticing a lot of rank and file Biden supporters are, and I hate to use this terminology, I really do, but it's just the way they come across. They are very politically remedial.
yeah,
Like they need to be in, in special needs classes. The way they
yeah, I
respond
know.
to be that old. I'm not talking about a young kid. I'm talking about someone that could be in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and don't know a freaking thing.
Mhm.
Why do you even have the ability to vote? You don't know what you're voting for.
Exactly. And the thing is, Phil, he says, we were having a conversation about, I want to move to Texas because I live here in California. He's like, "Hey, man, a lot of us black folks out here, he'd be like, well, I'm not black. And let me tell you something, Phil, he darker than me. He's like, I'm Caucasian. I'm looking at him like, are you stupid?
Okay, well, he got some severe mental illness, and I just walk away from people like that because I can't help them.
Exactly.
If I'm looking at your face and you dark as me or darker, or you got stronger features than I even have that link back to the motherland, you talking like that? I'm like, you know what? Okay, thank you for your time. I'm leaving because I have a firm belief I'm not gonna waste my time with people. I'm not a psychologist or nothing like that. So you go see them. I ain't got time to deal with people's identity issues. But
Yeah. Yeah, one more thing. That's why I call them butter biscuits at the job. I'm like, oh, here comes butter biscuits.
yeah, they got them. They got them. That's why on jobs I've always been one to stick to myself unless I talk with a brother, that's really, like I say, kind of on my level. But if they're not on my level to a point,
Mm-hmm.
just and leave how I come across, I work a job and just stay by myself. I come there to get money. I don't come there to make friends. I never come to
Exactly.
a job to make no friends. I ain't got to talk to none of you. Trust me. Only thing I got to talk to you about is the job. So, usually on jobs, I don't like to, would discuss politics and religion. That's the two things everybody think they're expert in, but they don't know crap. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
try to leave the conversation alone until I get my element, let's say, and discuss it. But brother, we appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yeah, no worries, man. Have a good one.
All right. Let's see here. Who we got here? Let's go to brother Rich. Brother Rich, Young.
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind about the topic?
Man, we got to get these older folks out the paint because they're in our way. They're the only group of people who are stuck on, stupid when it comes to the Democrats. See, one thing about older white folks, they die practicing white supremacy. Older black folks, they don't die practicing black empowerment. And that's the problem we have. They're disconnected with the younger generation. Older white folks and younger white folks, they're one and the same. They all have one agenda, they all have one purpose. Younger black folks and older black folks have two different goals. Older black folks, they want to die peacefully and, live their best life after retirement. Younger black folks, we want freedom, we want liberation, we want resources, we want tangibles, we want reparations. So we got to get older black folks out the paint by any means necessary, either move them out the paint or just totally avoid them because they're in our way. What you think about that, brother?
Well, you don't have to get anybody out of the way. Life is just doing that on a constant basis. I mean, at least with that generation. I mean, it's nothing you need to do. The only thing that you need to do is focus on what you got going on and like-minded people when it comes to things politically. But it's not just our um, issue. I also was discussing that even in the white community, they have a lot of geriatric people like Nancy Pelosi. You can another person like Mitch McConnell. They doing the same thing too, but like you said, they overall goal is white supremacy, and that's the only difference, because the older people in our community sometimes don't like the younger generation, and vice versa, right? And that stuff been going on for a long time. It doesn't make sense, but I'm a firm believer of getting with the people that you get with your tribe. That's what I would say. Rock with your tribe. You're not part of my tribe, then I'm moving around. You know what I'm saying? But brother, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
All right, let me see here. Go to my requests here. Let's see. Look at the people I know that was in line here. Brother Ivory, hop on, brother Ivory. Unmute your mic.
Make sure your sister stay back here. I'm about to go to the store. Y'all stay back here. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, what's up, brother
You talking
Phil?
to them kids,
Y'all
brother?
talk to the kids. I'm making sure they stay in the back. Okay. I got you, baby.
I hear
Hey,
you.
what's up, man? What's how
I hear
y'all
you.
doing, man? Hey, hey, man. How y'all doing, man? Uh,
I'm good. What's on your mind about the topic, brother?
yeah. So on the topic, man, I hear the topic and then I feel like things is changing. It's a good vibe going on. So everything's gonna be all right. So Biden has been a Democrat, yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you. You might hang up on me. I'm like this. If I got to pick between one of the two of them, I'd rather have a guy like Donald Trump say, "Hey, I don't like you." That's the kind of guy I
Yeah.
am.
Well, shoot. No, I'm not gonna hang up on you. Listen, I've said before. I want the white supremacist that's up
In
front.
my face.
I want the white supremacist that's gonna call me the N word to my face.
Yeah.
I want that white supremacist. Matter of fact, I can have more conversation with that white supremacist that let me
Top of
know up
here,
front
man.
who he
This
is
is the
or who
worst
she
person I
is.
ever seen
Hold
in
on,
my
brother.
life, and I'm an
Hold on,
83
brother.
baby, man.
Brother, hold on, hold on.
I'm an
I
83
can have
baby.
more conversation with that white supremacist than the ones like Biden and them that try to smile in your face, but they feel no different than the other white supremacists up front. They're more
Yeah.
dangerous to black people. But the good thing is,
Yeah.
see, when people get older, they don't care anymore, right? They don't hold back as
Yeah.
much when they are older. And what's happening, what you see with Biden, is that he's what 80 some more years old. He can't hold back.
Yeah.
Showing exactly how he feel about black
And
folks, and
he
that's a good
he the
thing.
worst in my generation. I'm 38 years old. He worse than Reagan to me, really. So yeah, I'd rather have somebody tell me I don't like you, and then I know where you're coming from.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I
Hey,
appreciate
I've been
you.
listening to you for years, man. I'm proud of your step, man. God bless you.
All right, thank you,
You're
brother.
doing a lot of good work, man.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, let's see here. We got a lot of brothers, like I say, coming in. Like I said, sisters, you definitely welcome too. Don't let all the brothers beat you to it. Let me see here, brother Garius, brother Garius. You hop on, brother Garius, and unmute your mic. What's going on, brother?
I just gotta say, and I'm just thinking this now. What exactly? And I'm not a Trump supporter saying this, so I gotta put that out there. But
Mm-hmm.
what exactly did Trump do to the black community that the black people really hate him like that? But you know, they go to Biden and they feel like Biden ain't really ain't doing as much as they think Trump has done to us. I'm not seeing what Trump has really done in his presidency that really harmed our community. I mean, I don't see it.
But Trump to me was not an issue. The only thing that became an issue was his followers, not so much Trump himself. And black people got really scared of his followers. But if you want to say policy wise, he didn't institute any crime bills. He didn't. He actually, championed the First Step Act, which got some black folks out of jail on the federal
Okay,
level,
I do remember
right?
that.
So I can't complain about that. He's the one that actually acknowledged and said that Black Americans built America, and he said you don't get credit for it. A Democrat have never said that. Trump said it publicly, right?
That's true.
Um, you look at it today. What he was presenting, like he actually had a conversation with Ice Cube. Biden didn't want to have a
Now
conversation with
that's
Ice Cube.
true.
Oh
I
yeah, yeah.
I still hate the
I
way that the community just threw Ice Cube. I just pretty much
It was
pushed him
no. Hold
aside
on,
after
brother.
that.
No, hold on, brother. Hold on, I gotta correct you. It was not the community because people like me, I love what Ice Cube was doing. It was them mammies on Fox Soul. That's the main one. Them mammies, and then that Boule Martin and all them people like that. That's the one that had an issue with Ice Cube. It wasn't people like me and others that speak on this every day. I was supporting Ice Cube.
All right, you're right.
Yeah, but nah, Trump ain't man. Look, I don't care what Trump had going on. Let's call it what it is. I went to the gas station today, brother, and I'm here in Texas. Now I use premium gas. I'm just saying it up front. And the gas was $4.75 a gallon. I know some of y'all brothers and sisters in California say, "I wish I had that," but no, I'm in Texas. We don't deal with that kind of gas. And I pumped, I think maybe 13. I used my Shell card, so it dropped to 10 cents to four
Mm.
sixty five a gallon. I put 13 gallons in my vehicle. And I'm looking at the price. I said, "Oh hell no!" I'm like, "Man, bring Trump back." I went home. I said, "Told my wife, man, Trump need to come back today because them gas prices was not like that when Trump was in
Yeah,
office."
but
You know
Phil,
what I'm saying? The
Phil,
stock market was making money. 401k was making money. Like people was doing. He end up if you own a business, you paying less taxes now. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it just I'm like, bring him back, like please, because this stuff with Biden, he's killing black people financially right now.
and I think it probably goes back to I feel like it goes back to when they pumped in all that money after COVID. And it devalued the dollar, and that's kind of where we are. Everything has gone up since then.
Man, that's man. Let me tell you something. That's a freaking lie. That is a lie. Because America needs people to spend money. During COVID, people didn't spend money. They saved their money. So them corporation wasn't making no money. So when people got back out there spending money again, all of a sudden, ooh, let's jack up the prices. Now recently they tried to put in where gas prices couldn't be gouged. Now the Republicans voted against that. I don't know why, but I do know why because the oil lobby gives a lot of money to Republicans and Democrats too. If you do the research on FEC.gov, you can see everybody that's giving politicians money. All the politicians are bought and paid for, no matter what
Oh,
party you're
that's
in.
true.
Um, yeah, you like anybody can go FEC.gov and you will see exactly. Pick a politician, you'll see every person that's giving them money because they have to report that. It's a law,
I
and most people don't do that. Every politician's bought and paid for.
I also remember, I think they said, Shell Exxon, they've like, what was it, more than triple their profits to record highs this year because of all these gas
Oh
prices
yeah,
that's just gone up, man.
yes sir. Well, brother, I thank you for coming on the show, man. I
Hey,
appreciate
no
you.
problem. You take care, man.
All right. All right, let's even go who I just see that's next. Okay, let's go to brother Ray here. All right, brother Ray, you on? Go ahead and unmute your mic, brother Ray. Going
Hello.
once. Yes,
What's
sir.
going on, brother Phil? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, my brother. How you
I'm good.
making it?
I'm good. So I just wanted to touch on the topic. Long time listener from the Abaya Show days. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't know. It's saying that has Biden been the Democratic wake up call to Black American needs? A lot of Black Americans even seeing that him. He's saying, if you aren't gonna, what did he say? If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Kamala said, I'm not going to do something that only benefits black people. They're saying all this, and people are still wanting to vote for them. I feel like some of my people honestly might just be
Yes.
too far gone.
Yes, because like I said, the a good portion of Biden supporters are politically remedial. They can't tell you what they gonna do. They can't. You tell them, well, they're not doing nothing. Well, at least he not Trump. Like that's all it. Oh my god! Like that's why some of like I said, I don't have the patience for some of them. But I would talk to them on a Twitter space, and I guess I pray for the patience of Job at that time. But that's unfortunately, brother.
I just feel like we're running out of time, especially with all these immigrants, that are incoming and all these other things that they're pushing. We're really running out of time, and I just don't know if we're gonna wake up in time. That's what I fear.
Oh, ain't nothing to fear, brother. You gotta just take life head on. Ain't nothing to fear at all.
I want to make
Fear
sure.
shouldn't
Well,
be
you
heavy
got
on.
kids just like me. I want my babies to be good once I'm gone, and I don't want to. If we sit around and we don't do something, our babies are gonna be ones that suffer.
Well, you know my position. If you listen to me long enough, I'm a firm believer of have multiple locations to stay. That way, just in case something get bad. Because I don't believe in putting all my eggs in one basket. But what I say is, fight like hell. To make sure things will go right here. At least for the community, because the community could do a lot to improve things for us here. But unfortunately, a lot of us, our people, are sabotaging us too. It's not just like the white supremacists doing everything to us, and then like we're not participating because we got a lot of black politicians. Think about it: the Congressional Black Caucus didn't come out strongly about Buffalo. They wasn't demanding no anti-black hate crime bill, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Other groups, their caucus demands something. They always demand. So that's our problem, and that's a whole conversation for a different day. But brother, I appreciate you coming on, and
Brother Phil, before you let me go, can I ask you a quick question? You brought up the anti-black hate bill, and I was just
mhm.
wondering. I hear people talking about it, but when you have these white supremacists that are doing these mass killings of us, I mean, I'm not really understanding the real benefit because if they're committing a mass murder, they're already going to go to jail for life. So I'm
The
uneducated.
benefit.
I want to know what would an
This is
anti-black
what I.
bill
Well,
do
this
to
is what
help
I would
us?
say. What should be in an anti-black hate crime bill. First of all, it should be if someone is attacking, let's say a black person, then they're charged federally, immediately federally, right? And it should have a very, very stiff penalty, in my opinion. Um, and well, me, I say you murder somebody, give them the death penalty because I believe in that. But
Hmm.
if you know what I'm saying. But if they don't do it, I say give them a minimum 40 years minimum. You know what I'm saying? 40 years. In the anti-black hate crime bill, they should create an office, a special office in the
Hmm.
DOJ that deals with anti-black hate crimes and also where people can report anti-black hate crimes. Right? They need a
Hmm.
special office, like they create a special office for the Asians. Okay. The third thing they need to do, they need to give money to black organizations that fight against anti-black racism. They can do all that. These are things they've done
Like
for the
which
people.
one?
I said organizations. I didn't say which one. I said
No, that's what I'm
organizations.
asking because I'm trying to educate myself. Do you know any good, reliable ones?
Okay, well let's talk about it. You know, I would be a good one because I speak against anti-black racism in our company all the time. Right?
Okay.
You got people like New Era Detroit. They always fight against anti-black racism. You can give them some money. I mean, it's many people that's out here that you don't even know that's doing good work. You should give the media and people an activist on the ground, not Black Lives Matter, not them. We talking about people that actually got a documented history of doing what's right. You know what I'm saying? And I brought up New Era Detroit because I was just looking at them the other day. Them brothers and sisters, they put in some work. So that's just what I'm talking about. But it should be federally allocated because you got to get a federal protection. And because of the FBI hate crime numbers that black people lead every year as the number one victim of hate crime based on race, it justifies it based on their own research. Every state, black people lead as victims of hate crime. Now, would a bill stop a white supremacist trying to kill someone? No, but we talking about the punishment of it. The punishment. If you have it codified in federal law, then it makes people think a little bit. Just like with the Asian, people thinking how they move with them now because they're protected. We're not.
Okay.
Got it?
I got it. Thank you for your time, brother Phil.
All right, thank you, bro. All right, let's see. Oh, I see. Patricia. Yeah, Patricia, I think I've seen your okay, yeah, you Global Press. Okay, okay. Shout out to Patricia, she in Uganda. Shout out to my sister down there. Let me get an Israelite by blood in here. All right, Israelite. Unmute your mic, brother.
Yo, what's up, Phil? You hear me?
I hear you. What camp you part of, brother?
No camp, no camp over here. I don't do any camp. So
Okay,
yeah,
all right. I
definitely,
see Israelite. I was
yeah,
just curious what camp.
yeah. I definitely don't do no camp. But yeah, about
Okay.
your topic right now with Biden, man, we should have woke up a long time ago when this dude was making his speeches on the Senate floor, talking about how we don't need no more nigga big shots and just shit like that. I don't understand what our people, what are we doing? Like, why are we electing this dude when he's been in office for this long and hasn't done not one thing for black people but talk shit about us? You get what you feel me?
I feel you, but let's try to keep our language
Oh, my
clean. We may
bad.
have
Yeah,
some
I
kids.
apologize. My bad. So yeah, like,
Well, this is the thing. I want to respond to that. Black people been just been so programmed. Because your pastor, Reverend Porkchop, always bring in the Democrats and say, "Hey, we need to hear the Democrats." And actually, that's against the rules of a 501c3. You could actually make a complaint about that, and you could check about political. There's a section about politics, enforcing politics, because you can't do that underneath the 501c3. And the churches have been getting away with that a long time. Nobody report them.
exactly,
I mean, they can do it, but they can't be tax free doing it, right?
exactly.
I think black folks, if you see these pastors bringing in Democrat politicians and they speaking about voting, I think people need to go report that church to the IRS and say, hey, they are pushing politics, and that's not part of 501c3s. Now, if they paying their taxes, they can promote all the Democrat they want, but they should not be tax free and promote Democrat. Sorry, that's not what the rules supposed to be. Anyway, so our people just never been trained to ask for anything. They like black folks get shamed by other black folks. Who you think you are? Why you asking for all that? You gonna make them mad. You gonna cause trouble. We got a good thing going. Here you come messing it up. They got black people like that because they want to be on the plantation.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I definitely agree with you on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, brother. But anyway, I appreciate you coming on, bro. All right. All right. So we got I guess Leroy. Hold on, wait. I think it's Leroy. All right, brother Leroy. You gonna unmute your mic?
Hey, how's it going, brother Phil?
How you doing,
Pretty
brother?
good. I'm calling from California, LA in particular.
What city?
LA,
L.A.
LA,
Oh
South
my
LA.
God. Oh,
Yes,
L.A.
sir. Yeah,
Man, God bless you. Them gas prices.
man.
God bless
Oh
you.
man. But what's keeping me strong is AB 3121. So hopefully, you know, that.
Which is the
Yes, sir.
reparations
Yes, sir.
bill.
Yes, sir.
Well, what's the progress on that? Because I haven't talked to Sister Camila in a little bit. Do you hear any updates?
Um, Not really right now. The task force is just putting everything together. All the atrocities that occurred here in LA. They're just putting it all together so that way, once they present it, I mean, it's factual, it's historic. Again, it's horrific. So when they put it together, I mean, it's without saying, I mean, that reparation should be sent out to everyone, monetary reparations at that, of course. But to get to just to deal with the topic here,
Correct.
Biden has been the Democrat wake up call Black America needed. I would say Joe Biden is a presidential extension to Barack Obama. And people, it's like I'm not gonna let Obama off the hook because Obama gave us Biden in terms of presidential platforms. Now I know Biden has been in office for decades, probably since Obama could crawl, but it was Barack Obama that gave us Joe Biden on this level, on the presidential
Mm-hmm.
level. And in terms of comparing Biden to Trump, I mean, Trump, it's like this. Trump was in favor of some things that go against our plight, and that plight is immigration. Trump was anti immigration, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. He wanted to protect our borders. Okay. He also wanted to implement soil based excuse me, not soil based. I think it was no natural birthright, the 14th Amendment. He put a lot of emphasis on that, meaning that you have to have birthright, and that takes us back to the 14th Amendment. It is it's a reconstructional amendment that deals with reconstruction.
Well, brother, let me interject on
Okay.
that. The situation with the immigration. Listen, I know someone personally in my family who work on the border. Okay, I get any information I need from that border, and I'm telling you, the border patrol they ain't got enough of them to deal with these people that's flooding this
Oh,
country. And then I'm talking about legally. I ain't talking about legal immigration. I'm talking about illegal.
no, illegal.
When
Yeah,
Trump was in office, I hold on, brother. When Trump was in office, I asked him. I asked him. I say, what president do you rather as a border patrol agent? Which one do you rather, Trump or Biden? He said, Biden. I'm sorry, Trump.
Trump.
Wrong one. Trump. I
Oh,
said, why? He said, because Trump was in office, we wasn't dealing with these problems.
that's
They were
right.
staying in Mexico. They wasn't flooding over here like they said. The moment they heard Biden was getting in office, they were lining up back at the border again.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then now let's get to the second thing you talk about. What Trump was talking about was what people like to do is what they talk about the anchor baby thing, or just come over here pregnant because a lot of people do that. I did a whole story about that with the Chinese too. They'll
Yeah.
come over here. They
Yeah.
they they
Birth
pay about
tourism.
40. Hold on, brother. Hold on. They pay $40,000 to go in some luxury hotel area, real nice area. They got their own Chinese doctors and everything. And these Chinese women have their babies right here because they always talk about the Hispanics. No, it's everybody doing it. Everybody's doing it, not just one group. And the Chinese was getting a hustle, and with that through that baby is how they get access to the benefits, right? The welfare, the food stamps, all these other groups is running the game, and then nobody talks about that.
No,
You
I
know what I'm
wholeheartedly
saying?
agree. I agree with you. Out here in California, the feds did a bust back in 2012. They call it internationally. It's called birth tourism, and
Mhm.
the Chinese have several rings in certain countries, America, UK, you name it. And again, back in 2012, they did a major bust on a birth tourism ring by the Chinese. And you're right. You're absolutely right. They come here so they can have their babies, but they raise them back in China for the most part. Again, they want that dual citizenship. Not only that, we send a lot of teachers to Japan, China to teach them English. So they're getting the best of both worlds. So when they're brought up in China learning their native tongue, Mandarin or Cantonese, what have you, they're learning English from the imported American teachers. Me being a former teacher, I know this from, speaking with some who have gone overseas to teach them the English language. So when they come back, they already got citizenship. They already have that dual citizenship. So it's a scam. So that's why Trump wanted to, do away with that. He wanted to do away with that, like the anchor babies. Everything should be connected to the 14th Amendment. Now, I want to say this. What, I mean, what anchor baby or some child that's born on the soil here, what connects that child to Reconstruction? Because let's keep it real. The 14th Amendment is a Reconstruction Amendment.
Yeah, it's
How's
just
that
to make
child
us.
connected to Reconstruction? That's the question right there. What connects an anchor baby to something back in the 1870s, our freedom? What connects them to that?
Nothing.
That's no one wants to talk about that. So just like these other countries, many of these immigrants, regardless of their status, legal or illegal, many of the immigrants come from countries where you have to have birthright citizenship, especially in China and Japan. You have to go through a process. If I were to have if me and my wife went to Japan and she had our baby on the soil of Japan, that baby is not a Japanese citizen. We still have to go through a process. It should be the same way here in America. You feel me?
Oh, I feel you 1,000%. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
I mean that was exclusive for Black Americans, and that's where it should have cut off
Exactly.
at. You know what I'm saying? But
Exactly.
brother, I appreciate you. I got to get some other people in. I
Yes,
appreciate.
sir. All right. Thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you. All right, let's see here. Let me get. I'm trying to go in order. All right, my thoughts. My thoughts. You can unmute.
Hello.
Yes. So, what's your name? Okay, he muted himself. Okay, you're not speaking. You got to go. All right, let's go to somebody else. Let's see. Hold on. This person here next. All right, DHT Truth. Mute your mic and you're on, sir. Oh, ma'am. I don't know who it is.
How you doing, brother?
How you doing?
I appreciate your show and your networks. It's awesome.
All right, what's on your mind about the
About
topic?
the topic here, all the legislation that has been passed, if you really look at it, it's been anti-black from Biden from day one. And you know, he likes Strom Thurmond and all the things that are poisonous to us.
Yeah, that's his homeboy.
Oh man, I bet they roasted marshmallows together. You know?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, back in the day when he was alive, yeah. I mean, but he was. I mean, Biden's the same guy that said I didn't want my kids, integrated into a racial jungle. I mean, he said it.
You know
I
what?
mean, so many things said that's on tape. It's like you don't have to lie on
The best part of that statement is he said jungle. Now, where's there a jungle in Massachusetts?
it. Or Delaware, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
none
saying?
in the U.S. Not a one.
Well, here's what we have to realize. We have to be really tight with our money and really tight with our votes, and we need to get anti-black hate crime legislation passed, and reparations. Anybody that comes out talking about anything other than those two right there, especially reparations, they're not representing you. And it's going to be a bunch of double talk. And by the end of the story, it's going to be people of color.
Well, check this out, bro. Look, you know how a lot of them folks, definitely on the right wingers, they are single issue voters when it comes to them doggone guns.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't say you won't let them keep their guns, they're like, oh, I don't want to hear talk of it. Black folk got to be just like them. If they ain't talking about reparations, if they're not talking about an anti-black hate crime bill or anything that we need in our community, I like, oh, you gonna do that? Well, we gonna try. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. See you later. I don't want to hear it. We need to be a single issue voters. We
Right.
need to,
Right.
and until we do something like that, nobody gonna take us seriously. But like you said, or if they mention it, well, we're gonna do something for minorities, I'll walk off because that's offensive to me. Well, we're gonna do something for people of color. What's people of color? That's not a classification of people. That's disrespectful because you are dismissing my community by saying people of color. You say white all day, but you gonna refer to me as people of color? Hell no! Don't disrespect me like that.
Right.
Don't
That's
call me
not
no
me.
community. Don't call me no urban. I'm not. That's not my classification. My classification is Black American. So what you gonna do for the Black American community? That's all I care about.
And
That's it.
Phil, you hit a subject. I want to say one more thing. You hit a subject about gun control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're not going to do nothing about gun control. That's how they slew and took over the world. They're not going to handcuff themselves. You got to be foolish to believe they're going to do something about guns. That would spark a civil war within their own clan.
Hey, look, I said that when I went on Newsroom Africa, like I said, the channel out of South Africa. I said it. They say, "What do you think will be done?" I said nothing, nothing. And what happened? You just had a freaking shooting at a medical facility in Tulsa today. You know what I'm
They
saying?
wouldn't they wouldn't
They
give
they
a
they they,
doggone
they
if you
they not
shot
going,
the
bruh. What racism, white supremacy is codified in mass murder. Okay, and they want any people within their community to have the ability to do it. That's how they conquered lands. That's how they did whatever. So
yes, sir.
taking away the gun away from the white supremacist is like pulling
Ooh
his
wee.
heart out his chest, and
Ooh
he ain't
wee.
gonna do it.
Not at all. Thank you,
They'll
my
do like
brother.
you said. They're like now Canada. I just heard they recently did, but Canada's laws isn't like the laws here. We the only
Right. They never had no teeth.
yeah, well, yeah, they can't. I've been, several different countries, and everybody's gun laws isn't like this one. Everybody ain't walking around with no freaking gun. I mean, they're not. I mean, the police, yeah, but not everybody else,
Well, you
and they don't
gotta
have
look
the
at it.
problems that we have here either.
You
My
gotta look at
nice,
it. You
bro.
gotta look at it historically. You gotta look at it historically too. This is one of the last lands that was conquered. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, The people, and it was a hard one to conquer. They came blazing, and the people who came blazing was accustomed to blazing, or should I say, maybe it was in their DNA to do it like that. But however, since that's how they was doing it, they're not going to give up on that. You can forget that.
Yeah, but like I said, I told people before. I mean, there's several things that's gonna happen, and some things gonna change whether you like it or not. But brother, I appreciate you coming on.
Yep. Thank you very much, brother.
All right, all right. Let me see here. Got a few requests here. Let's get if anybody already came on, you can't come back on. So I'm gonna take you out of there. This other person you didn't talk. Um, so let me go to I think anonymous here. Yeah, anonymous. Brother, unmute yourself. Anonymous, unmute yourself. You're on the show. All right, going once, going twice. All right, you are gone. All right, let's get to the next person. Social skills. Gonna mute your mic, sir. Social skills, you on?
Hey, what's going on, family?
What's going on,
Hey,
brother?
all right, man. I kind of wanted to chime in, to kind of, piggyback off what you guys are saying about everything that's going on with the Democratic Party and Biden's, blatant undermining of black society, black people. I just don't understand how so many people can have so many exemplary, you know, just pictures of Biden's, 30, 40 plus year career of, anti-black policies detrimental to black people and still decide to vote for him. I mean, with that being said, I mean, this what really got me after the massacre that happened in Buffalo, which was, reprehensible, man. It was so tragic and it really struck a nerve with me, you know what I mean, on a mental aspect, because like I said, everything that's going on, they continue to overlook us as if we're not even human. We're still dehumanized in today's society. But if you notice, even after all that, he had the meeting with the entertainers, with the Asians, the Asian pop group, whatever that was. And to me, that was instead of him meeting with political figures in that spectrum, he chose to meet with the entertainers. To me, that was a peripheral diss towards us, because there is no real Asian hate going on in America. They're propagating a lot of that stuff, but the FBI statistics prove that there's an uptick in anti-black hate crimes, and a lot of this stuff is being propagated with this anti-Asian stuff is being propagated as American policy, and it's to me it seems like a dovetail towards American and Asian economical ties. So it's like, it's like a diss. It's like everything they're doing, everything he's doing, because he's the head, he's the spearhead. But everything the Democrats are doing is to spit in our faces. So I just believe that black folks, us FBA foundational, black people true to this land, descendants of American enslavement, we should completely disembowel the whole democratic process. We should get rid of the whole spectrum on both sides, and we should definitely get rid of the whole, that political theater called the Color Coalition, all the black and brown, all that other stuff. I get so sick whenever I hear people to regurgitate those talking points. It just makes me nauseous, man. I'll be at work, I'll be at different places, and I'll just see the things that's going on, and it's like collectively, black people, a lot of us are on code, and I love it, but collectively, it's so many of us still lost under. We damn near psychotic to keep uttering this stuff, man. So
Yeah,
it bothers me, man. And like I said, I appreciate you, man, because I do follow you on YouTube, and I follow a lot of the stuff you do, man. So a lot of the stuff gets me through my workday, but like I said, I just want to land my plane on that. We need to just completely step away from the whole process. No tangibles, no vote, man.
yeah, yeah. See, I'm like I tell people, I have no problem with voting, but you need to vote in your entrance, your collective.
Exactly. Most left.
Like I said, listen, I'll vote tomorrow if you give me a candidate that's going to push, what we need. I'll have no problem going to vote.
Yeah,
No
right.
problem. Matter of fact, I
Exactly.
should really voting. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? But if you're not going to give me nothing, I'm not wasting my gas. The gas is too high. I'm
Yeah,
not wasting my gas. I'm gonna sit in my house and in my enjoying myself. That's exactly
exactly.
what I'm going to do. I'm not voting, and black people need to do that. Give us what we need with a candidate that's going to be approved by the grassroots,
Right.
or we just don't vote. That's just that simple. I don't care if you're Democrat. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care what party you're part of. If you got something that's in my interest, I have no problem voting for you.
Most definitely.
None. Like I
Most
tell
definitely.
people, I'm registered to vote. Like I tell people, I got my passport, I
Yeah, me
got my
too.
driver license, I got everything to move around
Yeah,
and do whatever I need to do. Trust me.
most definitely.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, brother, for coming on.
All right.
All right, bro. All right, that was our brother there. Let's see here down here. Who we got? Who we got? And like I said, don't be scared to come up. Like I said, I don't bite. I tell people that all the time. Get this person in here. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, you own.
Yes, I'm
You have
here.
to unmute
Yes,
your
I'm
mic.
here. Yep.
All right, what's on your mind? What's on your mind? But the topic.
Topic is you're on the topic. Why are we doing what we're doing? I appreciate you first of all. I appreciate you opening up the space. Um, when I look at the way that we vote and don't vote, it is very parallel to a dysfunctional relationship, perhaps between a man and a woman, husband and a wife, or or even child and parent. Um, one complains, the other listens, but never does anything, and the cycle just continues. Um, we don't act like grown. In all these years, I've been voting since Jimmy Carter. In all these years, the types of things that should be done for our community, I haven't seen it. Not according to the importance that we bring to the table in terms of making sure a candidate can be elected. So we don't pretend. I mean, we kind of do what Dr. Francis Chris Wesson said we shouldn't do: pretend that there's no such thing as racism, and go right along with liberals who pretend that it's not really a problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. That. Okay, since you said
Hmm.
Jimmy Carter, well, who's worse? Who's worse? Because during Jimmy Carter presidency, the economy was bad too. So who's worse, Biden or Carter?
At this point, I'll have to say Biden's worse, but none of them have been anything to write home about. LBJ.
Well, black people, yeah, yeah. I would say, but you know what? I could point to so many policies. I had to think about it today. I said, man, look all the policies that's been done by the Democrats when they're in office. I was thinking about the stuff for
Hmm.
Clinton, because not only did Clinton do that, because he
Yeah,
signed the crime bill. We
right.
talk about Joe, but Joe wasn't the
Yeah,
president.
right.
Clinton signed the crime bill. Also, Clinton signed that thing about the child support thing
Hmm.
too. When that's when they start criminalizing people behind child support. That was Bill Clinton did
Not
that.
only that, Clinton was co-signing on white supremacy in the continent of Africa, lifting up corrupt African leaders. Okay, that's there on the books. This is the same person who had the nerve to suggest that Kwame Ture and others were wrong when he's trying to eulogize uh, the good trouble guy. This is
Oh, you talking about John
right.
Lewis?
Um, and there was no pushback, of course, in mainstream media that you don't even get a chance to comment on that. Because if it were not for the likes of Malcolm X, Kwame Ture, and so many others, you would not have come to the table with Martin Luther King. If it was not for the action in the streets, just like the action in the streets when our brother was murdered, if it was not for that action, there would not have been any action in terms of policy, in terms of even supposedly getting a crime bill, if not for the feet in the street. So I tell people over and over and over, we have no alpha representation in high places. Nobody's going to put a microphone in front of me. Nobody's going to put a microphone in front of you where millions upon millions of people can hear you break down the system of white supremacy and explain it for what it is. It's an evil. It's evil incarnate. It's a system that will feed itself. It will not correct itself except for to continue to feed itself. As a former educator, well, I'm still an educator, but I wasn't going back into the madness this year. A well-run behavioral program will always need to be tweaked and revamped. It will always need to be tuned up to the times. A corrupt system will just do what it do. We're in a corrupt system, and people who are supposed to be extremely intelligent do not recognize that this system is doing what it is designed to do. It's not broken. It's doing what it's designed to do, which is to run amok, make money for those who benefit from the system as is. Point blank period. Anything in the way, you get crushed, you get disappeared, you get subjugated, you get exploited. That's all
All
it
right.
is.
All right. Really said, brother. Thank you for coming on. Get a few people
Hey,
on. Appreciate
let me throw.
it. Okay. Let's get our get our sister up here. Sister Dina. You can come. You coming on? You can unmute your mic.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing, sister?
Yeah, this is my first time ever doing this.
Awesome.
I just have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, when you go to the African trips, do they have
Hmm.
anything for people that have disabilities? Any kind of accommodations?
What do you mean by accommodations?
I have to walk with a cane, and there
Hmm.
are some things like forest with a lot of stairs and and such like that. And I just wanted to know, um, do they have like ramps or anything like that? Or
I've seen it. Okay, I've been to, let me see, South Africa, Kenya, and Ethiopia. I know I've seen those, because they got people with that basically handicap access and stuff like that. They have that in those countries too. I mean, it's not just like we the only country with handicap, or people that need to be in wheelchairs and stuff like that. Wheelchairs are standard operating procedure, in airports all over the world.
yeah,
So yeah, it wouldn't be an issue or a problem with that. No, they can accommodate you. Trust me. No matter what America tells you, a lot of African countries and definitely the major cities are very modernized.
oh,
They're not swinging. They're not swinging from the trees. I know America like to teach that, but that's no. They got the internet. They got skyscrapers. They got everything. Trust me.
yeah. Because I spoke to a guy that was from Ethiopia, and he was saying that it would cost a lot of money to get help or something like that because everything is like regular. It's not like here. So
Well, if you go, okay, are you looking at that Kenya trip that we have?
yes, I just wanted to find out before I
Well,
try to
what you
get
can
into
do,
that.
what you can do is like on my videos, I got a link
Uh huh.
that takes you to the thing, and then you can kind of talk to them and just tell them, because they go to Kenya all the time, so you
Uh
can just tell them what your concerns are. Then they can give you more of that about Kenya, just so we can be accurate.
huh. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, that's all I wanted. Thank
okay,
you.
okay, okay, sister. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right, let's see. We have Philippe. Yeah, Philippe. Is it Philippe or Felipe? You just unmute your mic.
It's Philippe. How are you, Phil?
I'm doing
Uh,
good.
th-
How you make?
Thanks for giving me a second here. I just wanted to say first off, thank you for everything you're doing on your channel. I love watching it, and honestly, I think on your question that you're showing the light of what needs to happen. Your trip to South Africa and now going to Kenya. The problem that we have as voters is we don't have any leverage, and so when the Democrats betray us, what leverage do we have to punish them? If the leverage is, well, they won't be in office, they don't care about that. They care.
Oh yes, they do. Oh yes, they do. I got to interrupt you. Yes, they do. Because why would they say recently they was going to spend $30 million to target the black community to come out and vote? Oh yes, they care about that. The most powerful thing we could do to the Democrat Party right now is sit it out.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, Phil. I support that 100%. What I'm getting at, I just looked at a thing a few minutes ago where Biden is looking to cut the Medicare uh, support in terms of its financing, and he's giving big contracts to the pharmaceutical companies. Now, this is an election year. That doesn't sound like somebody that's trying to get Democrats reelected. If you're doing that going into the primaries, these people are all controlled by their donors. So
Biden is gonna be a one-term president.
for sure,
Period. He knows. He knows that.
for sure.
He not sitting. And I don't think he don't got 2 terms in him. Yeah, poor. Just be honest with you, poor soul. He falling asleep. All over the place. The man is saying things he shouldn't be saying. I mean that he should have never took that doggone job. And I told people all the time they had like 17 other Democrats. You mean to tell me y'all couldn't pick other Democrats? Why him? I
Well,
never
I agree
understood
with
that.
that 100% too, Phil. And this is where I was going with it. The Asian hate bill flew through Congress because the U.S. was in trade negotiations with Taiwan. And Taiwan said flat out, look, either you pass this bill or we're going to have some different things to say about the trade. What we need is exactly what you're doing, Phil, which is going to South Africa and going to Kenya. And when they go to the trade table to say, look, we need our former people that were brought to the United States to be treated better in terms of, resources and banking and finances. And if you don't do it, then that coltan that you need from Congo to be able to make all the iPhones, well, the price just went up. If we have leverage like that, then things will move. But the way that we're doing it now, it every other group participates in what they call collective economics. Claude Anderson has talked about this forever. But what we need is collective economics, which you're showing us on a global scale. We need, Powernomics, Claude Anderson's thing, globally, because the economy
Right.
is global. And so, Phil,
It is.
God bless you for doing what you're doing. Keep doing it. And thank you for giving me a couple minutes.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. All right, I seen Kim down there. She had requested to speak, and she dropped down. I saw Kim. You from Houston, I think. Um, I was interested in what you had wanted to say about that conversation, but she dropped down. So let me see here. Let's see here. Go to Chad, I guess. All right, Chad. You up, Chad? Chad, you on the mic?
Yo, Phil.
Yes, sir.
Bro, been rocking with you since forever, bro. Um,
Appreciate.
man, yeah, man. You feel like Biden gonna give us these reparations, like for real, or like, or you feel like he might have to die off or go off, and we have to get somebody else? How you feel about that?
Well, where we at with it today? If we look at it, I would say right now that would be a no go as of right now.
It's a no.
Uh, as of right now, but at one point, hey man, you got to cut off the back. What you got in the
Okay,
background?
what I do? What I press? What the?
I don't. It was.
Oh Lord,
I don't you got on speakerphone or something like that. Take off
Lord.
speakerphone.
Should I press the microphone? I might get off.
No, I'm talking about you. Maybe you have it on speaker.
Speaker. Okay. Let me turn this down. There you go.
Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. Thank you, man. I'm just gonna respond to what you said. As of right now, if they try to bring up, but it's like even if they tried to bring it up right now, I mean, it would get shot down in the Senate. But the Democrats not trying to bring up crap. Let's call it what it is. Because Democrats don't want black people reparations either. They don't. They don't. And I know this. But let's see here. We got hold on. Kim. Okay, that's Kim. Okay. Kim, you on. Unmute your mic.
Hey, I just wanted to say I think you're wrong about Biden. I mean, look,
Okay.
he was
Hold on, Kim. Hold on,
okay.
Kim. How am I wrong?
Be,
Explain to me how.
okay, because he was thrown into a hornet's nest, the mess at the White House. Okay, that's all right. He's gotten through that. And then the COVID and it coming back. And all the Biden haters just want to make him look bad. And I have to confess, I did kind of want to make Trump look bad, but I didn't have the power. I mean, I just love this country and I'm sick of the way certain people get treated.
What certain people? What certain people?
Poor people, people of color. Uh,
What is people of color? Who is that?
that can be anybody that's not white.
So you feel non-white people are treated bad?
No. Oh. It depends on the city and the circumstance.
Really? So let me ask you a question. What city in America treats black people very well?
I don't know any.
So you said depending on the city and circumstance. Okay, what circumstances do you feel that black people are in and just very, very well?
Treated well or not well?
Um, let's say well. Let's say well. Where could we go in America? Where do you think that black Americans could be in America where we treated well?
That'd probably be up north, like in Boston or New England somewhere. Let me.
Okay,
Can I
you
just
say
give
this.
you an example?
Well, no, hold on.
Okay.
So you say
Okay.
anti-black racism in Boston or New England?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
So do you feel there's no anti-black racism in Boston or
Of
New England?
course there is. It's everywhere. It's just
Okay,
not as prevalent in some places as all. In the South,
I
it's
beg
more
to differ.
prevalent.
I am from Boston. Let me ask you a question. Are you sick, ma'am?
No, I got allergies, dude. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. I because it sound like you were struggling back there. Did you vote? Who did you vote for in the election?
Uh, President Biden.
Okay, so why do you think people got it wrong? So when we as Black Americans say that he has done nothing for us specifically, what has he done for Black Americans? Correct me and tell me what that he's done for Black Americans.
Not much.
Oh, okay. So you admit that Biden haven't done nothing for Black people.
Not much. He hasn't. I gotta
Okay.
admit
So
that.
hold on, Kim, hold on. So you agree with me that Black voters should sit this one out?
Only if they want somebody like Trump back in.
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. Trump is not running in the midterms. So you
Oh,
agree? You said that Biden and the Democrats hasn't done nothing for Black Americans. So let me ask you a question: do you think that we should reward a candidate with our votes that done nothing for us?
well, I don't know that he's really had the chance. You
You
would
just
know
said, man.
better than me.
Ma'am, you just said he done nothing for us. He had 2 years. He made sure to do something for Asians. He made sure to do something for LGBT. He giving all kind of money to Ukrainians who's not even our citizens. He gave all kind of money to Afghanistan people, okay, who's not even citizens, like your tax dollars and my tax dollars. He just giving it away, like the lotto or something, okay. So
I
after
got.
we watching all of that, and the citizens of this country, Black Americans, are saying, "Hey, man, what's going on about us?" And even if Black people just got killed in Buffalo, the staffers just said that he don't even care that what happened to Black folks in Buffalo. So after all of that, do you think that we should sit out the next election?
No, I still think y'all should vote. Maybe vote him out if there's another Democrat.
But how about we just vote in our interest? Why it always has to be a Democrat?
Yes, absolutely. Vote in
So if a Republican is in our interest, we should vote for them too, then, right?
absolutely.
Okay, good. Well, Kim, I'm glad you admitted Biden has done nothing for black people. I'm glad you admitted black people should sit it out. I'm glad you admitted that. And I'm glad you admitted that black people should vote for whatever side that's going to give us something. If not, we'll sit it out.
Okay, but
Oh,
thank you.
thank you.
Bye bye.
All right, that was Kim there. See, it's not that. Listen, Uncle Phil talk to anybody and everybody about whatever, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all. He says, listen, she's a white person, and she admit that he ain't doing nothing for black people. Listen, I can't say it no more than that because unfortunately, how some of y'all are in the black community, until a white person say it, that's when it sticks to you. So now you heard a white person say it. So now do y'all believe me that he ain't done nothing for us? Okay. And of course, I'm not talking about all of y'all that feel that way, but you got some black folk. I tell you. All right, let's see who we got here. I'm gonna have to almost wrap this one up. So let me see here. All right, Kara, you are connecting. Well, if you're still connecting, all right, unmute Kira.
Yes, Kara. How you doing?
How you doing, Kira?
I'm great. I just wanted to say, when it comes to Biden, I think he is a terrible president overall. You know, he's forced a lot of people to go back to work and endangered them with COVID, and now he's declaring it as almost as if it's over, and people are still dying from this illness. I just, in my opinion, uh, when it comes to the crisis, I think Trump handled it better, and that's sad to say because he was a terrible president in my opinion. I didn't think that it could get any worse. And then we got Biden coming through, and he was actually worse. He doesn't keep his campaign promises, and anything that he has absolutely said in light of black people has been a lie. There's been no criminal justice reform. All we get from the Democrats is thoughts and prayers, and I'm just sick of that. I'm sick of that there never being any money put into the black community. And if we put Trump and Biden against each other, in my opinion, black people got more out of Donald Trump. And that's just me being honest about, what was taking place between the two different presidencies. And I do want to have pushback when it comes to Joe Biden not being responsible for some of the things in the Clinton administration in particular, because he wrote these legislative bills that were to the detriment of black people. The 1994 crime bill was written by Joe Biden. So I don't know why black people thought that they were going to get anything out of this man. I mean, we could go even beyond the 1994 crime bill. In the 80s, he wrote legislation that was anti-black then when it came to black people. So I don't understand why so many were able to just kneel down and vote for this man when he didn't never in all of the 4 decades he's been in office, he's never had anything for black people. Even Kamala Harris called him out about his anti-black agenda, and yet we still bent at the knee, and we're so tied to this party that does not do a damn thing for us. It just doesn't make sense to me. I am not someone that is going to vote for a racist, a rapist, none of that. So I chose not to vote. I left the top blank. And I do not regret my decision based on what the hell has been happening these last 2 years. And I don't think anything positive is going to happen in the next two, because we all know presidents have to get what they're going to get done in the first 100 days when they have the strength of the Congress behind them. And if they don't do it in the first 100 days, it's not going to get done. So, in my opinion, this is a lost cause. We need to regroup. We need to organize around a candidate that's going to do something for us, as opposed to continuing to go down and make excuses for this man when he ain't got shit for us. I mean, even today he was talking about how he's not going to do anything when it comes to gun legislation. He's not going to do anything when it comes to student loans. I mean, I just don't see the point in wasting our time with this man anymore. We need to be organizing and trying to figure out what we're going to support beyond this, because this was a waste of our fucking time and energy. And I feel bad because I know a lot of black women like me were the ones that were supporting him. But we got to break the ties with this I don't know what to call this relationship black people have with the Democrats at this point, because it's not a win-win situation. We're not getting anything from them at all. But thank you for letting me speak.
Yeah, thank you, sister. Shoot, you said a mouthful. Appreciate you. Boy, Sister Kira, she brought the heat. That's why I couldn't say nothing. Well, black people are what you would call like an abusive relationship with the Democrats, like a domestic abuse. Beating our behind and then bringing us flowers saying they sorry. You know what I'm saying? And that's just really what it is with the Democrats. They don't do nothing good for us. They abuse us. They verbally abuse us. They physically abuse us. And then we say we ready to leave. Here they come with flowers and some candy and some jewelry and like, oh, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna go to counseling. I'm gonna do this, and then they'll stop for a little bit, and then they're right back to kicking your butt again, right? Being abusive. So it's up to black people to not allow ourselves to be treated that way. That's all. That's all. And we need to, like, she says she's a black woman, and they heavily lean on black women. Oh, black women are backbone of the party, yet black women don't run nothing in the party. Black women don't control nothing in the party. How are you gonna say somebody's the backbone of something and they don't run anything? You know what I'm saying? So now black women so strong. Oh boy, look at black women. But it's all game. They run on black women. They think about it. They care about black women, but you just had a unarmed pregnant black woman shot by those cowardly race soldiers. What is it, Kansas City? Was it Kansas City? I know it was in Kansas. I think Kansas City. Cowardly race soldiers shooting an unarmed pregnant black woman. Where was the Democrats talking about black women then? Every time something happens to a black woman, they never say nothing about that. They don't talk about the black maternal death rates that's happening to black women all over the country. Black women are dying. They're dying 4 times higher than white women in these hospitals. Like I was told before, the doctors are equivalent to the police. How it is for black men, the doctors are what it is for black women. It is a crisis that's what's happening to black women. And they're talking about especially states like Louisiana, they purposely trying to listen, I'm gonna go there because that's just what I do. They purposely killing black women in these hospitals. Because the hospitals is built up with a lot of anti-black racism. Every area of activity is permeated with anti-black racism because the white supremacist runs everything. They don't know. They can't turn off they white supremacy. Oh, you're going to the doctor. Let me turn that off. The only thing that could possibly be safe for black people is having a black doctor. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a black doctor, a black OBGYN, I'm a firm believer of, hey, if it was my wife that need one, I would travel somewhere and say, look, we're going to live over here for some months so you can have that baby. So I know good and well this doctor will take care of you because I don't trust these people. Because as black people, we got to get past and worry about people's feelings. But nobody worry about our freaking feelings. We are in a life and death situation right now as black Americans. You know what I'm saying? So we need to act like it. We need to act like we need to look out for our community. We look out for what's going on here. Now, other people that want to rock with us, who want to ally with us, I ally with people on the individual basis. I don't ally with groups. I'll repeat that again. I will ally with individuals who rock with us and show that they will rock with us by putting it all on the line for the community. But I don't ally with groups. No, I don't, because that is wrong. Don't ever ally with a group. Ally with an individual. But yeah, I mean this whole situation, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm gonna have to actually wrap this up. I know I got a lot of people, much I would love to talk to all y'all. I'll probably come back and do a space tomorrow. I ain't done one in a while, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this, and make sure y'all follow us here on Twitter and everything, and follow us, on different platforms on YouTube, etc. But we appreciate everybody for coming in. So thank y'all for listening. We'll see you on the next one.